Within this video, we're going to go ahead and take a look at integers and floats, some of the terminology that goes behind using them, and why you'd use them in Verse as opposed to using just a score manager device. And then after that, we'll go ahead and take a look at the code that's running everything that you see here on screen. So to begin, let's go ahead and define what an integer actually is. It's really just a whole number. Now, if you look over here in the top left-hand side of my screen, you'll see some numbers pop up. And you'll notice that they don't have decimal points. They're whole numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I come over here, I can actually go down. So 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And it's good to note that these can actually be negative values as well. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at what a float is. So a float is a number that actually has a decimal point in it, so something like 0.5. So if I go ahead and press this button, we get 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, and then if I go down, it goes into 1.5, 1, 0.5, 0, and then we can go down into our negative numbers as well. Next, let's go ahead and talk about some of the terminology you may hear. So if I come over to this button, you'll see that it says integer, so we know this is going to be a whole number, and it's going to say increment. So what that means is this value is going to go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I come over to this one, it says decrement. So this is going to go down. So 3, 2, 1, 0. And same thing goes with floats. You can increment them and you can decrement them. So to wrap this all up, let's go ahead and take a look at why you wouldn't actually want to use the score manager, even though it's a fantastic device. The biggest drawback is that it'll only allow you to do whole numbers. So if you need to do 0.5 or a third, you can't actually do that with the score manager. The other disadvantage is that you can only do increments and decrements, which you can see down here. You can't do multiplication, you can't do division, and that can be problematic as well, especially if you want to do something with floats. Another one of the major disadvantages of this device is that you kind of have to have a lot of them to do a lot of different math operations, where in Verse, you don't actually have to do that. It's much simpler. So in the next video, let's go ahead and take a look at these advantages that you can use inside of Verse as opposed to using just a whole bunch of score managers.